Hi, my name is Linda Lightfelt with Primerica, and this is our Essentials for Life podcast.
Yes, we're excited. We got a name. Um, we're looking forward to doing this every week. Hopefully, you learn something. I am Jackie, and I'm here with Linda. So, Linda, what do you have for us today?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about investing, and I know that sounds as like a scary word to a lot of people,
hmm
and it shouldn't be if you understand the basic principles behind it. And it's the best chance of our money making money, unless you have a ton of money that you can invest in a lot of different things. But it's also very necessary, you know? Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, because nobody wants to get to retirement and be broke.
hmm
That is the absolute possible worst thing that could happen, because then that means you're going to work until you die. Ooh,
hmm
so sad, really, really.
hmm
And another thing is a lot of people think, well, I have to have a lot of money if I'm going to invest. No, the point is get started. Get started with something so that it's a discipline. Every month, it's a discipline. And you want to do dollar cost averaging, which means you're investing, let's say, $50 a month every month. And as you go, you can increase the amount as you make more money. But the important thing is pay yourself first. That's what it's called. And diversify. And you can do that with mutual funds. And also, Jackie, another thing, it's very important to have 3 basic accounts. This is what experts say. And when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because you should have an account just for emergencies.
hmm
And that could be as simple as a savings in a bank, a money market, and those are investment vehicles that do not uh, have much of a return. But
hmm
the whole point is if you need to take it out, you can take it out.
hmm
You can put it in, you can take it out. You can put it in, you can take it out, if
hmm
you need to. But you should set aside other money or have other money for your monthly expenses, not
hmm
your emergency fund, you
hmm
know. And another account is your short term account. So that can be for goals that you want to achieve, I would say from 3 to 5 years.
hmm
Maybe it's buying a house. Maybe it's going on that vacation that you've wanted to go on for so, so long.
hmm
Um, and the mistake that most people make, they don't wait. They just say, "Oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to put it on a credit card." And then you have debt, right?
hmm
That you've got to pay off, which
hmm
keeps you from saving and really having the kind of life that you want. So, short-term account is a great way to save for those things. Also, let's say you lose your job and you can't find one for 6 months. What are you going to do? That's another reason for a short-term account. Okay.
Right.
It,
And there are a lot of layoffs right now.
mm,
People being laid off, north and south, with the economy
yes.
combined with all the high prices, the groceries. Um, what else? Like, it's really being stuff for everyone. Everyone's trying to hold on.
Yes.
So that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for retirement, you got to put money away. And most people's jobs offer a 401k or a 403b if you work for a school, a hospital, a church, a nonprofit, things like that. That's a 403b, but it's still a retirement account.
hmm
And you should definitely take advantage of those things, especially if a company matches. Because you know what, Jackie? If you don't, you're just leaving free money on the table. And that makes no sense at all.
Exactly. And what's exactly matching? I mean, I'm just trying to
Oh, okay,
make
sure,
sure everyone
sure.
is on the same page.
Yeah. So a company will usually match a certain percentage.
hmm
Maybe it's 50 cents on the dollar, something like that, up to a maximum, you know, maximum percentage. So If a company's going to do that, if they're going to match whatever contribution you're making up to a certain dollar, if you don't do that, you've lost money,
Mhm.
that the company's actually going to
And what are the
do that.
percentages usually in terms of matching? What's the best, highest percentage they can match you
Wow.
out there?
That can vary. So
Mhm.
I don't want to give a certain percentage because that
Mhm.
could change, but something is better than nothing,
Yeah,
right?
I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if people don't have a retirement plan at work, a Roth IRA is a great thing to have. It's also a retirement vehicle and it's tax deferred, just like the 401k, meaning you're not going to pay any taxes on it until you take the money out. Now, with a Roth, that is after tax money. So you get your paycheck and then you're going to put in money to the Roth. That's after tax money.
Mhm.
Money's already been taxed. 401k is what we call pre-tax money
Mhm.
because they're going to take that contribution out and then your paycheck is going to be taxed on whatever else is left, after certain deductions are taken out. So, um, you know, that's another good thing about a Roth because it's after tax, it's tax deferred. And so when you take that money out at retirement,
Mhm.
it's not going to be taxed.
Mhm.
But you know what? Everything else will. So you got to have some balance there. You don't want to have go into retirement and everything you take out is taxed, whether it's an annuity, whether it's a 401k. Pensions, although there are not so many of those anymore, unfortunately, companies don't do those hardly at all anymore. But
Mhm.
those companies that do, that's going to be taxed. Social Security will be taxed. So all of that's going to be taxed. So it's kind of nice if you have something that's
Mhm.
not going to be taxed. I hope that's not confusing. I think it's pretty simple, but, yeah, have something for retirement,
Mhm.
and guess what? If you already have a 401k, you can also have a Roth IRA,
Mhm.
to shore up your retirement because you wanna make sure you're gonna have enough. You don't wanna be, going into retirement and you're always concerned, "Am I gonna make it every month?"
Mhm.
That's just not good. Or I guess you could work.
Mhm.
People can work forever if they want to.
Mhm.
And some people want to work, and that's okay. But when you want to work and you don't have to, that's a lot different than knowing that you have to.
So
Um,
if you have like maybe gig job like,
mhm,
driving Uber or, picking up jobs here and there, food
mhm.
deliveries, how can you set up your retirement? Can they reach out to you
Yes.
and then they set that up? Can you explain how that works?
Yeah. So anybody that has jobs like that or a job that where a retirement plan isn't offered, oh, or let's say you're driving Uber,
Mhm.
to make a living. Yeah, I can set up a Roth IRA for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as you have earned income. Now, what I will say, let's say it's a married couple and a spouse is working, but the wife isn't, she can still have a Roth IRA.
Mhm.
So, mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
And let's talk about in setting those up. I know that sometimes people forget to input the beneficiary information, how
Ooh,
it's important for that.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. That is so important because, the truth of the matter is, we never know when our last day is, right?
Mhm.
So, if you don't have a beneficiary set up in your IRA or any kind of accounts like that,
Mhm.
then that's going to go into your estate.
Mhm.
And if you don't have a will specifying, then, there's, it could go to any number of family members, and maybe some of them you don't want it to go to.
Mhm.
So it's just a lot easier if you have that beneficiary for
Mhm.
your accounts.
Mhm.
And
And the
yeah.
beneficiary can be your spouse, a trust.
Uh,
What can it be?
yeah. So in the state of California, California is a community property state.
Mhm.
So if you're married, your spouse has to be the beneficiary.
Okay.
And the only way you can get around that
Mhm.
is if the spouse signs something that says it's okay for them not to be the beneficiary.
Mhm.
So I don't know many spouses that would do that, honestly,
Mhm.
but I guess there might be some here or there. But yeah, that's a definite must.
So in
Yeah.
other words, you can put their name and say that they're your spouse and their social security, or you can. There's usually a first and a second beneficiary, right? A
Yeah.
contingent or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have a contingent beneficiary, which you should because let's say both spouses are traveling
Mhm.
and something happens and there's no beneficiary
Mhm.
contingent set up,
Mhm.
then you're going to have the same issue,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
with attorneys and probate and so forth. Yeah.
And talk about whenever you're laid off or you're with the company, like how do you make sure you
Mm,
roll that over?
yes. So I help people to do that as well. So it's a matter of having a statement
Mhm.
from the company where the investment came from,
Mhm.
and many times it's not the company you worked for. They partner with another company to do the
Mhm.
401ks.
Mhm.
So um, you need a statement, and then you have to go through a whole process of filling out. Like if I'm helping somebody, they need to have an application filled out to roll that over,
Mhm.
and then the company that's releasing the funds
Mhm.
different companies require different things. Sometimes it'll just be over the phone and they get the information and they'll send the person the check, and
Mhm.
then it's up to me to get it and get it into their account.
Mhm.
Other times they need paperwork on that, and that can take time. So that's the thing about having me. I'm gonna follow up with that
Mhm.
until it gets done. A lot of people would just give up and just let the money go,
Mhm.
and I don't understand that
Mhm.
personally because every penny counts.
Exactly.
You can't afford to let a cent go these days, so even if it's, $1,000,
Mhm.
that's $1,000 that over time
Mhm.
will earn money for you.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then the last question would be, so what's the benefit of rolling it over?
Okay. So the benefit of rolling it over is that now you can contribute to that account again. I mean, it's a different account, but you can have that money growing. Otherwise, if it just sits there, you can't contribute to it because you're no longer working for the company. Also, all 401ks have fees. They will continue to take fees out of that money. And I have seen accounts
Mhm.
dwindle down
Wow.
because they weren't rolled over.
Okay.
That's number one.
Mhm.
I've also seen, and this doesn't happen a lot, but I've seen it happen,
Mhm.
um, where a company that had the 401k
Mhm.
will move it to another company.
Mhm.
And, if you're not paying attention, that can be hard to follow up
Mhm.
with.
Mhm.
And also, I've also seen accounts
Mhm.
where people can't find them.
Oh, wow.
All of a sudden, they can't find the account. And
Wow.
it's like, oh my gosh, you know,
Are those companies meant to follow up with you, or you're the one who's supposed to be on top of that?
you're supposed to be the one that's on top of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. Because sometimes I see
Yeah.
them writing letters like saying, "Oh, we still have your money. Wanna confirm you still exist. You're at
Yeah.
this address." So
Yeah, but a lot of times people won't pay attention to that,
yeah,
Jackie. They'll just think, "Oh, I got a stack of mail here, forget
yeah.
this." Time passes, and then, there you go. So,
Oh, oh, okay.
yeah.
So wow. That's some powerful information. I always first of all, I always read my mail. I don't care what it
Yeah,
is. I
yeah,
read my mail, but I sort it through the junk.
yeah,
But anytime I see a letter like that, I follow up. Okay. I don't want
yeah.
to make sure that I'm leaving some money on the table. So, Linda, how can anybody reach you?
Well, they can call me at 818
Mhm.
378
Mhm.
3752.
Mhm.
That's my cell number, and you can reach me,
Mhm.
and I am more than glad to help you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And hey, we work with Linda. We always accept donations. We're passionate about financial education. Want to make sure no one in our community is left behind. If you don't understand anything we're saying and you want to understand it, Linda has the time for you.
absolutely, I do.
So
Mm.
call her at that number, please. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week
Yes, we will.
with Essentials for Life. I love that name. That's a good name.
Yes,
That was a
yes.
good pick. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.